Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
No worries. But, well, we're very glad to have you here, team from Bangladesh University of Professionals. And let me just reintroduce our judges for us today. So we have Ms. Deborah HWU. She's from Head of Global Banking and Markets Asia Pacific Quality Assurance from HSBC. We have Mr. Andy Maynard. He's the Managing Director, Head of Asia Pacific Equity Execution Services, Global Banking and Markets, also from HSBC. And also we have Professor Albert, Executive Director and Chief Executive Officer of Langham Hospitality Investments Limited. A few rules. So you have 20 minutes to present in the presentation, and at the 17-minute mark and the 19-minute mark, I'll be raising up placards to remind you of the time. After your presentation, there will be a 15-minute question and answer session between you and the judges, and just a reminder, we'll be very strict with the timing. And again, all the electronic devices must be off, and no one should be entering and exiting of the room when the presentation is going on. Are you ready? Okay, let's start.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We are from Team Bangladesh University of Professionals from Dhaka, Bangladesh. Let me introduce ourselves first. I am Shetaz Chaudhary. This is Amin Khushi. That's Mantika Jadna, and that's Faiza Zahid. We are here to deliver a presentation on a case named Gravity Payments. So without further ado, let us progress on with the case. We find ourselves in the shoes of Gravity Payments, and they are facing quite a dilemma. They have their co-founder and presumably their managing director has just announced a minimum wage policy of $70,000 US for every employee. They have 120 employees, and out of 70 of them, they have received this kind of bonus, this kind of minimum wage benefit. But he sounds like a very nice man who has a lot of regards for his employees' well-being and their standards of living. But is that all? Are these all the positive consequences? There are also negative consequences. For example, the people from the senior management positions, they're not receiving any kind of increases or wage bonuses or any kind of raises. What do we do in order to take them into regard as well? That is why we are introducing the Triple H model, which will be explained by our later presenters. Now I will pass on the mic to Amin Khushi.
So let's look at the facts of the case first. Yeah. So suddenly Mr. Dan Price had a whimsical thought and he increased the wages of the employees to $70,000 a year. And he had a very wide media uproar around the industry. And initially the customers were very happy with it, and they showed a 75% initial customer rise in the sales in the company. And next the next issue that arose from this was that the senior management who actually didn't receive any wage incentives and other things like that, they felt like they were undervalued. And also there was a mixed reaction from employees and customers, because we saw in the case that some customers actually wrote to Mr. Dan that they have actually made their jobs tougher because they feel the pressure now to actually increase their wages. So this is vector mapping we made. In the vertical we have the work distribution that is high and low, and also the the compensation management and low, the level of compensation of low and high. So basically the senior management, they have an increased work pressure and they haven't actually received any incentives. And on the other hand, the lower level managers and the executives, they are receiving a high compensation, and also their work distribution is not that high. So from this issue, from the case, we actually derive three main issues of the case. First, there is an income distribution in the levels of the ranks of the company, which is leading to an undermotivated employee workforce. The senior executives are not actually very happy with the situation. Next, there's a question of questionable performances, because the senior executives are not actually showing the effort, the initiative to take the company forward, and also the new company, new recruits who are coming into the company are actually trying to make a quick buck out of it. So this is leading to an undervalued company because the stakeholders and other stakeholders in the supply chain are actually concerned about the company. And thirdly, there's a negative media focus on there's an excessive media focus on damn price, which is actually thwarting our customer relationship management, which leads to our core problem today. That is the long-term sustainability of the companies in question.
So now that we have identified the core problem, now we're talking about our solution. Our solution that we believe if the company implements, its performance will improve in the long term. So our model, it has 3 arms. It is called the 3H model. Sorry for that because the name got erased. And so the first one, that is happy employees, second part, happy customers, and the third part, happy company, happy employees. What do we mean by that? The senior level managers, they're not actually very much motivated to work because they didn't get any pay rise or any incentives. And the lower level managers, they think it's a quick way of earning money because they can just enter the company and can get a very good salary. And happy customers. Happy customers, what do you mean by that? These customers, basically, we want customer retention. Initially, we saw that our customer base increased by a very high rate. But after that, after a year, it started decreasing gradually. So that's not a way of working, right? So we have to have customer retention so that they come back to us every time. And then we have happy company. By happy company, we mean that the productivity and the performance of the company will improve. Next slide. So now I'll be describing about the happy employees. For the happy employees, what we are going to do? The first thing, that is equity shares for senior management. These senior managers, they didn't get any rise or incentives or anything. So we will be giving them equity shares, but not just like that. The only managers who will work hard and who will think that they deserve it, they will be getting this so that they feel like they belong to this company, their presence means something to us, and they actually hold a significant part of the company. And then we have employee grooming. Employee grooming in the sense that we have to train these employees in a way so that their motivation increases, so that their satisfaction increases, and changing the focus from price. In the case, everywhere we saw it was all about price. Price did this, price did that, price went here. But initially, the goal that price had, it was about happy employees. He wanted to set a minimum wage so that the workers are motivated enough to work and they're happy in their jobs. But there is not, in the case, we didn't see anywhere about the employees. It was all about price. So we'll be shifting the focus from price to the employees. That yes, in this company, the employees are very happy. They're very happy to work here. They're very happy to stay here, and so it should be appreciated. So here you can see changing the focus from brand price. So for that, what we'll be doing is we'll be choosing someone from the senior level to represent the company. To represent the company in the public, so that people can actually relate to him, people can actually understand whatever he's saying, and his lifestyle and people's lifestyle will actually match. And focus more on the employees. How we are going to do that? The employees will be sharing their stories, like how it actually improved their lives. Like in the case, we saw that a person got married and they went to meet his relatives in a far land. So they will be sharing this in the social medias and other platforms, and then digital base. Like I say, the people, like you, like me, like him, everyone can relate to these people. Like it's such a nice thing, right? These people, these employees are so happy and in their work life and everything, and bring new customers and employees. In the case, we saw that in the beginning, when there was a very good media reaction, the number of employees, the customer base actually increased. So basically, if we shift the focus from price to the employees, we feel that in the long term, our customer base will also increase, and the employee, more people will be actually wanting to, enter this company and stay in this company. Next slide. So here we have a full-fledged HR plan. Sorry for that again. So the first one is selection. Selection basically means how we are going to actually select one people from a pool of employees. The right people for the right job. Because we have to know that we have to ensure that these people actually can fulfill their responsibilities. And then there will be orientation and training. Orientation and training will be basically telling them about the culture of the
company, and so that our culture actually indulges into that. So, and the next one is on-the-job evaluation. On-the-job evaluation meaning that there will be a 3 months training pilot program. Basically, they will be given a task or something, and we will be evaluating them in those 3 months. And then we have performance appraisal. Performance appraisal meaning that we'll be evaluating them. Like all the good things they did, all the bad things they did, we'll be evaluating them, and we will be having a committee. For that, we call them performance monitoring committee. This committee will be overseeing all their activities and actually, prepare a report where all their activities will be there. And then we have reactive measures. So the the employees will be performing good. We'll be giving them pay rise and incentives. But the employees who doesn't work good, for them there will be a probation policy, and they might even get fired if they don't meet our expectations. And then we have succession planning. In the case, we saw that the next generation managers, there is a problem with that. So in the succession planning, we'll be getting to know that which people should be hired for the next job. And in the first one, selection process, it will be merit-based selection. The process will be tougher. The process will be much more competitive. So the people who will be entering the company, they will stay here, not just for like a year where they can get a lot of money and then just leave, but they will actually stay here. And in the orientation and training, like I said, orientation culture. Doing this, these are the 3 things that are going to happen. So we call this performance goal. Capable, motivation, and enabling environment. Capable. These people will be capable enough to take in more responsibilities. These people will be capable enough to actually fulfill their goals and meet our expectations. And motivation. These employees will be motivated to work even harder. Some they will do extra things which are actually not in their job description. And then enabling environment, in the case, we saw that the environment is not that good right now in the companies. Like I say, that the focus is all on price. So we want to change that. We want to make everyone believe that it's an employee's company. These are the people who actually run this company. So all the responsibilities, all the major things, it actually depends on them. So and now I will be describing the 2-page.
Now moving on to the background or what actually happened, we saw that all of a sudden our company say that we are going to give a minimum wage to the lower level employees. So that is a kind of uncertainty. That is a shock for the environment. That is a shock for all the stakeholders that you have. People are going to think that whether this is going to bring any price change or not. There is a level of uncertainty in the market. And now let's look into the target market that we have. The target group is basically the small businesses. These people are not extremely established organizations or multinational organizations. These organizations have a low profit margin and they conduct their business in a highly competitive market. So every unit of price matters to them. But the fun fact here is we are not changing our price. There is still the uncertainty and no one is actually solving it. There is no fluctuation in our prices so far in our final price. So the consumer insight here is they want super reliable partners, super reliable people you can buy from. They want reliability, they want a sort of certainty in their environment. That's why they need a kind of clarification from the company itself that yes, we're going to sell at the same price, we're going to conduct our business at the same price, and it is not going to affect your business, and you are not going to lose your customers. So we have to look into the consumer insight and then take our actions. Then moving on. So here we have certain policies that we're going to take when it comes to targeting our customer. So the problem that we had regarding reliability and uncertainty, we're going to solve that through policy targets. Plus, a policy target could be something like a seminar, a way that you can conduct your information regarding the news regarding your business, and to embrace your sense of responsibility that comes with it. You have to let your stakeholders know what you're going to do, what impact it is going to have on their businesses. It is a way of increasing the interaction between them. So we have policy dialogue with 3 stakeholders here, starting off with the customers, then we have the media and the competitors. And besides that, we have also the people who deal with our businesses with. Then we have video documentary. My friend here came up on stage and she told us that there's too much focus on Dan Rice. But Dan Rice took an initiative that actually actually impacted the employee in whole. So it is important to show the impact, not the initiative itself. So the impact will be generated through videos and documentaries. So here we have Gravity Making Lives Better, which would be a way of sharing the stories. This would be a social media campaign and also a regular campaign to let people know about the changes. This would bring positive press. So here we have the company phase, which is divided into two parts. That's the increased business and we have satisfying and stable HR. So this would be enhancing the business that we would get through a positive press, through a positive relationship with our customers, with a positive relationship in the media and our stakeholders. And lastly, we have the stable and satisfied HR, the senior and the lower management, which is ultimately going to give us sustainable growth in the company.
Hello again. I am back to evaluate our performance, our solution model. And before that, we want to, there is always scope for challenges in every single ideal situation. Challenges don't arise in ideal situations, but since this is the real world, we're going to face some implementation challenges, and we're going to show you how our solution is feasible in the face of those challenges. So first of all, rising administrative costs. In light of all the HR policy adjustments that we're going to make, we will have certain rises in administrative costs. It's very normal. How is our solution feasible in the face of this challenge? More motivated, more committed workforce. If we have a more motivated, more committed workforce that eradicates the people who are here to make a quick buck or to just earn the money and not give back to the company in terms of future development and future growth, we are going to eradicate them through our policy, and we're going to engender a more motivated, more committed workforce, which will in turn increase our profits in the long term. Then we have negative press due to the lawsuit that Dan Press's brother filed against him. He was also a co-founder, and he filed charges. Why? Because the performance was not meeting standards of everyone involved in the company. And now, how do we battle the negative press? How do we show that our solution is feasible in the face of this challenge? Active media presence. We already showed you that Gravity Making Lives Better and other campaigns will increase our active media presence and show people that we are here as a company to help other people, and we have that we're going to ingrain the message. Happy employees translates to happy customers, which leads to happy company. So that is why we're going to increase our active media presence and show and broadcast our rising performances. Then, I'm sorry for the difficulties. The market wasn't this good. And lastly, a lack of a committed workforce. People don't want to stay. People don't want to accept responsibility. Senior management are not encouraged. What eradicates all these problems? An optimized HR policy, which we believe that will make our solution feasible in the face of this challenge. In order to evaluate our whole performance, our whole solution even better, we have to show you the key performance indicators or the takeaways of this whole case. What would show us that our measures are being fulfilled, are being effective? Firstly, employee satisfaction level. Employees being satisfied is one of the biggest, the most key indicators, because an employee who just undertakes instrumental compliance to get his job done and go back home, but does not contribute to the long-term well-being of the company, is not going to do us much well. Which is why we are going to monitor employee satisfaction levels through various surveys and various other measures in order to keep up with our results. And then we have customer retention. Customers flocking in and then flocking out in the space of a day is not going to help our cause. We need customers who are loyal to our business. We need customers who are going to stay with us through this journey. So which is why we're going to monitor customer retention. Social media impact. Nowadays, social media has a very big impact on business. I'm sure you all agree with me. And which is why we're going to monitor social media impact and follow up on the results of our campaigns. Next, we have increased sales numbers, which is pretty obvious. Next. are we addressing the main problem? Are we addressing the case question? Let me walk you through the whole case from one go. Firstly, Dan Price announced a minimum wage policy. People thought it was a very good policy because people are increasing their standards of living, and it's a very good policy in my opinion too. But Dan Price did not take into account the people who are in the senior management level, and they're already operating above the cost at the wage of $70,000 per year. What will happen to them? Instead, they're getting more job responsibilities while Dan Price is out, engaged in other activities that don't relate to the operational management of the whole company. Now, what should we do in order? What have we done in order to do this to eradicate this whole thing? We have conducted the Triple H model again. The Triple H model has enabled us to shift the customer's focus from Dan Price to the company's employees, and now we have a healthy, happy employee base, happy customer base, and a happy company base. We thank you for your time, and question and answer session is now unfolding.
So, right, are you suggesting that I keep my minimum wage model and adopt HHH on top, or I scrap my minimum wage model and adopt HHH?
See, sir, thank you for your question. But firstly, the minimum wage model attracted a lot of customers and made a lot of customers' lives better. If we withdraw the whole minimum wage model, that would be undoing all the good that we have done already. What you're saying is, should we place the HHH model on top of the minimum wage model? I think we should tweak the HHH model in order to complement the whole minimum wage policy, in order to accommodate our own costs, because we cannot do business if our cost structure is absurdly high, right? So, which is why we thought that it would be better to tweak the whole thing and make it accommodate our costs.
Okay, so I adopted the minimum wage level and I saw an uptick in business, which was great. I also saw a dramatic uptick in my costs.
Yeah.
My return on equity started to decline, right? So, I mean, cash flow difference, right? HHH really, in a medium term, will have more business and a happy employee force, but it's going to cost me even more money. So, I notice you haven't really got into the funding side of how this is going to work. How do I form my HHH model?
So starting off with the HSBC model that we implemented was not from short term. We have taken into account, we say our main problem is the long-term sustainability of the market. Yeah, that is why we have taken the HSBC model in order to stay in the business. That is the main thing, sustainability. So we're going to implement this in order to complement what we have already. The rate system that we have itself is not flawless. There is a problem regarding the senior management. So in order to cope up, it's like a damage control process right here. So the HHH model will actually help to cover the loopholes that we had in the minimum wage level, so that we have a comprehensive solution for the long-run system. And not to think, to add to that, I would like to say here that implementing our model, HHH model, eventually in the long run, our customer base is also going to increase, because we saw in the case that because we're in the happy employees actually lead to happy customers. Customers keep coming back. So in the long term, if you think about that, this model will actually work. That is how we actually develop this model.
Yes, big sales volume will of course help us overcome our cost structure. But you also asked about how we're going to finance this whole venture. So in the video it was mentioned that Dan Price was offered a $500,000 deal about writing a book and other engagements that he's involved in. He's raking in money, even though he's not being in his chair. He's not working. He's not attending office often as he used to. He's raking in a lot of money, which is logically we would think that this would be directed towards the policy adjustments that we would make in the HHH policy.
Okay, so Dan Price's book is going to fund HHH.
Not only Dan Price's book, but the other activities that his engagements entail.
How do you make sure that artists of the money you receive, how do you encourage him to use the money to fund companies?
Sir already is doing that. He has already changed the ratio of his profit in the organization.
more money into it. It doesn't have to be when you have paid for writing the book. The money you receive after to the consumption that it will be injected. Right?
So the book deal which I spoke for was an example of what other money sources that he would get.
Okay. That is equity interest. Please, what does that do to his brother? His brother will be diluted. He will be even more unhappy. How to solve that problem?
The problem that was regarding, he actually filed a case regarding, he told you have to buy it, then you have to give me damage costs for your new proposition that you put on. So we are going to use that stock to actually help our senior management. We are going to buy it off, give him the damages that he requires, or we can convince him, because ultimately the brother, and we can convince him and we can give him, we can go for negotiation here really. He can, take part of all the functions and we can come to a deal and finally use the stock that we have left for the senior management.
Dan Price's brother, if I may, Dan Price's brother was initially, he was cross because of what? Undervalued company due to less performance. And this is going to be rectified through our Triple H model, which is why Dan Price's brother would want to become a part of the company again. Who doesn't want to become a
It
part of a good
already has a
company?
high intangible value, the goodwill, the good press that they have. He's going to be interested ultimately because he wants a part of that, good impression too, that good perception too. That's why he was cross. Basically, we did not treat him as important as we should have. He said that he felt exploited as a minor shareholder. So if we can tell him that yes, you are special, yes, you are also part of this achievement that we have done, and we let him know about the initiative, the minimum wage initiative that we have done, and make him incorporate him in the whole process, he's going to be fine with that.
Also, sir, we are actually suggesting that Dan Price himself actually take a back seat, and we actually promote a senior executive to position of a CEO or any equivalent position. So he can actually run the operations for the company, and he will actually consult the people inside the company, their stakeholders, before making the better decisions. So we are thinking that yes, Dan Price is a good positive press for us, but he should actually take a step back in the question of the operations of the company. So that should enforce his brother's confidence in the company.
In the slides that you mentioned about right people for the right job. So you said that like optimizing the HR policy will be able to tackle all the staffing issues. How the HR policy and what we refer to HR policy?
HR policy basically we mean that how we are going to handle these upper level managers and lower level managers. The lower level managers, they're already pretty much happy with their income and other things, but the upper level managers, they're not happy at all. So throughout this policy, we will ensure that both these two level of managers, upper level and lower level, they all are satisfied and motivated to work with the company. And here you can see the timeline. The very first one selection, like I say, is for the lower level or even for the upper level managers, the people who think that they'll be just joining for the company for like a year or two to just earn a lot of money and they will just leave. They don't have any commitment here. So for that we have a very effective selection program, and after that throughout the process we ensure that these people actually stay loyal to our company and work hard and they're very much dedicated.
By 3 months pilot program, we mean on the job evaluation. You are placed, for example, you are a potential employee, you have just been selected and you are placed on the pilot program 3 months. You are required to meet certain performance standards and not go below that in order to be selected as a permanent employee of the organization. So that ensures that people want to get in, just not for the money, but for the commitment, for the whole development and growth of the whole company.
So this pilot program is actually for people and why they have to perform as well.
This is for the new recruits, but as you can see, performance appraisal and successively reactive measures are for the existing employees. People who
Everyone.
for everyone, the existing.
Because we think that if you want to actually solve a problem, firstly you have to actually solve the internal problems that the company has. So after solving this, we can actually move on to the external factors like the customers and the company performance. But firstly, we have to ensure that our employees employees are actually very much dedicated, motivated, and satisfied.
So my move to minimum wage has increased my costs. It has decreased the valuation of the company, which our venture capitalists believe is half the value of the HHH will go in act, but it's going to be a medium term for employee and customer to make happy company, which again is going to increase revenue and sales, which is going to solve the overall financial situation of the company. So why are you not concerned about my short-term cash flow?
Short-term cash flow problem. Yes, sir. Short-term cash flow is obviously important in order to take care of the short-term costs that we have.
Right.
Yes.
We've increased our costs,
Yeah.
right? HHH will increase again. The extra business we've got due to publicity of minimum wage is enormous plus the employing people at extra cost. We've got the administration setups. So we've got every cost coming in, right? HHH is on a trajectory we need to adjust. Do you agree?
Sir, I would, because this whole cost of the administrative costs of the whole program, HHH, is spread over a big term, as you said, medium term, short to medium term. We're going to start the short term, but in the meanwhile, we're going to conduct business as usual. People are going to the initial customers that we got, we're going to tend to them in the short term, but side by side, we're going to be conducting our internal affairs to the medium term, and then we're going to get the results in the long term.
And we strongly believe that if we want to be successful, we cannot just think about the short term. So that's why we have taken the long-term plan, and we want the company to sustain because it has the, like she said, the goodwill and the intangible assets. The company for the company it's very good. So we want actually to maintain that, and so that the company goes further in the future.
So we also believe that the marketing campaigns we propose will actually drive more sales within the company. So that will actually help us tackle the short-term cash flow.
Like the focus is actually changed to and shifted to the employees. So this positive media reach and other things will actually drive it further.
So looking to the numbers, we had around 75% rise in customer just because we took this step. So just imagine if we retain them, what is going to be the return?
Would you estimate like 70 increase in cost to get the 75
It is going to cut that ultimately because the return is going to the cost. Here the costs are not that high because you're just incorporating certain values, certain things that you already have in your organization. For example, probation period. You need a committee, you need people to evaluate them, and you go for probation and see whether that person, gets better or not. It's just a normal process in every organization. So we can incorporate these steps pretty easily. In the marketing phase, we have also focused on social media, which requires almost no cost nowadays. And then we talked about policy dialogue, which would incur a certain amount of cost, but it wouldn't be a huge amount. So ultimately, the costs are not like a huge number. Rather, it's a reasonable value.
It's feasible in the sense that we would offset the costs through our revenues in the future. And by policy dialogue, I meant stakeholders would be present and they would be exchanging their opinions with ours. What's wrong with our policy? What's wrong with their policy? I mean, our policy mainly. They would be telling us what's wrong with our policy, and we would suggest to them what steps we could take. The policy, we're going to propose that at the stakeholder meeting, and we're going to evaluate the judgment, and then we're going to come to a consensus, and this would keep everyone up to date with what's going to happen, to give them time to react to it in a predetermined manner.
As a consultant to our company, you have interim measures to assess the performance of the company in terms of additional revenue, execution, approach additional cost. What time frame recommends to look at your implementation?
What time frame would monitoring the current performance of the current employee would fall into? I would say from short to medium term, because short-term employee performance is of course paramount to our cost, because without sales, without revenue, we cannot offset the cost even in the long term. Our company is going to be capsized and will eventually drown if we cannot take care of our short-term costs and short-term debts. Which is why we would say that it would be in the short term, medium term, and we are going to assign certain performance monitoring committee would be solely dedicated to monitoring the performance and evaluating the performance of the current employees and giving us feedback so that we can pass on the feedback to the employees who would know where to improve in order to stay at the job.
Monitoring performance of employees are our performance of customers or sales.
Sales.
Seem to be more important.
How we are going to actually monitor that? There was this thing increased sales. How we are going to monitor that? We will actually
Short time is up, and we'll be seeing here from Yonsei University. Thank you, Chico, for presenting.